I'm at Briggs Elementary School in Florence with some students in the Farm to School program. I'm going to learn what they enjoy most about being in this program. Is there an insect that you've learned a lot about in this program? Tell me about it.
I'm a bee and a turtle. And if you don't mess with the bee, you won't mess with the turtle.
So you've learned to treat them with respect? Mm-hmm. And what do bees do and make that you really enjoy?
Honey. I like bees because it just looks cool the way they pollinate the flowers. The only reason bees are important is because they help us eat. So if bees weren't on this planet, people wouldn't be on this planet.
Well, tell me about the animals that you enjoy.
Chickens.
What you like about chickens?
How they, act and how they help our environment. What I like about chickens is that how hard it is to catch them, and you have to run around and catch them.
You have a beautiful garden right outside your school, and I bet you like to watch the plants grow.
Mm-hmm. We planted tomatoes, peppers. There were like 2 plants that were already growing, so we made holes and put like seeds in it, and then they started like growing a little bit, tiny bit.
When you go out to the garden, do you sometimes taste things that are growing there?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me some of the things you tasted that you like.
I tasted kale, bell peppers, and blueberries.
Tell me what you tried that's in the garden.
Cucumbers, tomatoes, carrots, and blueberries.
You've tried a lot of things. How do you like to eat your cucumbers?
Sometimes raw, and sometimes with vinegar and salt. I tried a plot plant.
Woo! How was it?
Very good, and it tasted kind of like a sweet part. And I also had a smoothie with juice, cabbage, and frozen fruits.
Come on. And was it delicious?
Yes,
Wow. I think you 2 young ladies are on a special team here at Briggs. What is that team?
Composting. She's a home composter. I'm one of the school composters.
Oh. And why is it important to compost?
It helps sustain our environment, and instead of just putting it in a landfill and letting it burn up, it can go to our garden and help us grow plants.
Is it good for the soil?
It's extremely good for the soil because here at Briggs we garden a lot, and Mr. Murrie also gardens over the summer, so if we have more soil, then the better off we are.
I want to thank y'all for what y'all are doing for our environment and for starting off and setting such a good example at Briggs School.
Thank you.
We're at Briggs Elementary School in Florence, South Carolina. I'm talking with Jeff Murrie. You are perhaps the only related arts teacher who has a farm to school program in the state.
And probably the only one that's holding a chicken right now talking to you as well.
This wasn't your career plan.
No, it was not. Started off as a 6th grade social studies teacher and did that for 20-something years, and then we applied for a South Carolina Farm to School grant in 2015 and received that grant and developed the garden that you see today. 2 years ago, we decided to take it one step further, and we started a related arts class where all the 550 students we have at Briggs, they get to come and see me one day a week, and we talk about sustainability, agriculture, the history of agriculture, and we cook, we grow, we plant, we take care of chickens, and the kids have a great time.
When this started, I guess traditionally you were thinking that Florence, which of course was based on agriculture, children now don't get out and don't know anything about that. And I think, first you just wanted them to become familiar with the soil and with the whole world of how plants grow.
Yeah, it's sort of sad. You know, we're right here in the heart of the PD, and we have an extremely strong heritage in agriculture, but most of our children and the parents of these children have very little memory or contact with being on a farm or even participating in cropping tobacco or any other type of crop. And the kids need to see where their food comes from so they have a greater appreciation of food. They also need to have a really great appreciation of the farmer and the amount of work that goes in to bringing that crop from the field to the table. So we're trying to teach nutrition, sustainability, responsibility, climate, weather. STEM goes into what we're doing as well. But in the end, the kids have a great time interacting with the farm and even getting their hands dirty. That's one of the most interesting things, is to watch a child with a trowel or a rake get into the dirt for the first time. They're pretty scared of it.
Jeff, a lot of kids won't try anything new and their parents say, well, you don't like that, I'm not gonna give it to you. Is there a strong correlation between planting a seed, watching something grow, and being willing to risk a taste of something new and strange?
Yeah, that's one of my biggest pet peeves, is that I hear parents say all the time, we're not gonna buy that, it costs too much, and you're not gonna like it anyway. And then I sort of think, has the child had the chance to even taste it yet? And most times they haven't. Recently, we had Ben Cease from Department of Education come and talk to the kids about growing mushrooms. And a lot of the kids had never eaten mushrooms, but we prepared them in class. And then that afternoon they went home and they said, Mom, can we go to the grocery store? And the mom was like, why are we going? I said, I need to find shiitake mushrooms. And the mom was like, well, you don't eat shiitake mushrooms. And
lo and behold.
And the student was like, yeah, we do. We ate them today in Mr. Murrie's class.
We have sadly, a lack of physical activity, and along with that, weight gain in our population, and sadly it even reaches down to our children. Do you feel that the overall aspect, the all-encompassing aspect of what you're trying to do here is a way that can serve as an example and perhaps a pattern that we could follow to try to help children learn to make better choices?
That's exactly one of the things that we're trying to do. There's so many different things that we attempt to do on a daily basis, but one of those is to teach children that the green things, like you see in the garden today, especially the kale chips that we've made in class, to eat healthier, to eat more fruits and vegetables. And that is a really big part. And if they get in the garden and plant a seed, take care of the seed, nurture it, and then they get to actually pick the bell pepper or the tomato from it, they just have a whole greater sense of appreciation and respect, which is also a major part of what we're trying to do. And they learn that fast food is not where it's at. And that's what we're trying to do, is get them out of the fast food line.
What a remarkable school, in that even in the cafeteria, you've got people allowing you to compost, and in the classrooms, everyone's bought into this. And that really ties in with what you want, a lifelong lesson on sustainability. You want these children to be the future of our planet.
And that, I think, is the biggest reward that I've seen in the few years that we've been doing this at Briggs, is that children are going home, educating their parents, telling their parents, hey, let's not throw that away, let's compost that. And one of my students, her mom and dad have actually bought a small composter, and they're composting at home.
I think what's happening here is, instead of just giving mantras to children and having them gather for mass events, these children are, as you said, from the ground up, learning what I think is going to be a pattern for a way of life. I want to thank you for changing and making South Carolina better, and for encouraging all of us who see this show to try to replicate some of the things you're doing, at least with our children at our homes. Thank you, Jeff Murrie.
You're welcome. And anyone can come to Florence and visit the farm at Briggs, and some chickens.
Harvest School!